Greetings, adventurers, and welcome to Adventure Gameshow Geek. It's me, your host Twilso, and today I'm bringing you an opinion piece that focuses on the very worst that game shows have to offer. Whether a representation of time, points, or ranking, game shows are known for the collection of mysterious artifacts via completing challenges. A good example of this being time crystals from the Crystal Maze. However, some of these are less mysterious artifacts and more MacGuffins. A MacGuffin being an object or a device that's necessary for the plot, but insignificant, unimportant, and irrelevant in itself. Today, I'm going to bring to you what I believe to be the 5 worst challenge artifacts in game show history. Number 5. Keys. Frankly, this one only places this low, because so many others place higher, whether that be in visuals, concept, or function. The keys I'm thinking of are those required to unlock the treasure chamber in both Fort Boyard and Fort Boyard Ultimate Challenge. For the latter, the number of keys also dictates the amount of time allowed in the treasure chamber. And honestly, I'm quite fond of them. They're practical, unambiguous, and perfect for the role they serve. As I said, they're only here because they don't quite hold the wow factor that some of the others do. It's just a key, no big deal. Number 4. The Sands of Time. Generic, so generic. I mean, it's a cool name, but it's very generic. It turns up everywhere in TV programs, books, films, video games, and in game shows that they use in multiple series of Escape from Scorpion Island, and probably some others that I'm going to kick myself for not remembering later. The Sands of Time, as the name suggests, are just time bonuses. They're literal bags of sand, so they don't have the most pleasant visuals, and in some cases external factors can mean they don't actually hold any value. For example, in Series 4 of Escape from Scorpion Island, it turned out that the totem pieces from the totem trials were the more valuable prize. Number 3. Island torches.
They hold a secret power, the power of light.
Oh, really? Never would have guessed. A torch with the power of light? Truly remarkable, groundbreaking stuff. Yeah. If the introduction wasn't pathetic enough, they don't even hold the power of light.
They hold the power of not being blindfolded.
Maybe if they were actually used as light sources, and the final escape was actually in darkness, I would be less irritated with them. But they're not, so it's just another thing that ruins Series 3 of Escape from Scorpion Island. You want a good point? Fine. I like the fact the losing team had to sacrifice one of their torches as an additional prize for the winners. And they were pretty, yeah, there you go. Number 2. Timepieces. Apparently worth a minute each, they were collected by the warriors in Raven the Island, with the purpose of extending the eclipse so they could take on Navar's fortress and escape. And I say apparently because the warriors actually spend much, much longer in the fortress and leave scot-free. They only placed 12 in the totality clock, and yet 1.5 30-minute episodes later, they escape without consequence. Even accounting for TV time, and I mean replays, confessionals, cut to events happening elsewhere, they definitely overstayed their welcome. A reason for this could be that the eclipse was already going to be half an hour long, and the time gained from the timepieces was just extra time. But that wasn't made clear in the show. The impression I got was that the timepieces held all the time that the warriors were going to get. And, I mean, if they needed enough timepieces for that long, then
Why did they, A, make the totality clock into its own, quite hard challenge with a time limit, meaning they wouldn't be able to enter all the timepieces they'd won anyway?
And B, make the timepieces disappear when a warrior is taken. They could have just kept them. And hang on. The timepieces are indestructible. Why are they being destructible? They literally say that the timepieces are indestructible. And yet, one blast from a demon or a weird challenge thing, and they're gone. I mean, if you could get rid of them like that, Navar probably would have rounded up some innocents, killed them, timepieces disappear off with them, and then problem solved. No timepieces. Navar's safe. I mean, it just They destroyed the timepieces. That doesn't make sense. After that, you're probably wondering who could possibly get the crown as the worst game show MacGuffin. And without further ado, I present number 1, Simian Fruit. These purple blobs are collected to drug the eponymous beast for an amount of time in Don't Unleash the Beast. How long? We don't know, because we never learn the value of them. They could be anywhere between 2 seconds to 15 seconds to half an hour, except obviously not half an hour, because otherwise the Treasure Chamber Challenge would go on for ages. Or perhaps they're meaningless and the game is fixed. We don't even know how long they actually get in the Treasure Chamber. They never tell us. They could have nothing to do with how many simian fruit they get at all, and it's fixed the whole thing.
Not only do they hold no real value, but the challenge of the simian tree also makes sure all the teams have an ample amount to feed the beast.
And removes any possible tension the show might accidentally produce. We don't even know where the time begins, whether it's when the first fruit is eaten, or when the last fruit is eaten, when the first adventure or the last adventure enters. Maybe it's when the second adventure enters. We don't know. They don't tell us. Maybe there's no time limit. It's all fixed. I don't know. And don't get me started on the name Simian. Wait, Simian is in ape-like? What has an ancient culture got, and a Minotaur monster got to do with monkeys?
But no, they spell it with a Y instead.
And that makes it a made-up word, and that's fine. I'm actually kind of fine with that, because, Hallian's a made-up word, and I'm fine with that. But you could have done better than Simian. Call it Hallian fruit, because it's a fruit from Hallian. Or, I don't know, give it a name to what related to what it actually does, putting things to sleep. Call it a Morpheus fruit, a Dormantic fruit, or Torperic fruit. I don't care. Just don't call it a Simian fruit. Wow, that was oddly therapeutic. I needed to get it off my chest. And I would like to note, I do actually enjoy these shows. This hate comes from a place of love and passion. And most of these shows are from the past. They can't be fixed or changed. That's not how time travel works, so this doesn't really do anything. But I don't know, maybe the whispering of someone who's part of the target audience for shows like this might give some insight to the people who make them about what can be changed for better in the future. Inexplicit time limits are not cool. They make things look rigged. We don't like that. That is something that does need to be changed. But as I said, I see the care and devotion that goes into making every one of these game shows, and I appreciate it. I love these game shows deeply, and I always will. And that's about all for today. Until next time, it's only a game, isn't it?